Most of the people, they say like, I felt like I heard my mother, I was at home. This is how it feels, because light language is the language of the soul that your mind doesn't understand.
The goddess of fear. She's the god of victory. She's the goddess of, she would instill such a fear into you that, you wouldn't dare to mess with her. And this is why this is the only statue that is still standing after thousands, like 6,000 years.
Because ego has so many different faces. So the one is a rough, you see, ooh, that guy has like super ego, no? And there is a thinner and thinner, more refined and refined. And one of the face of ego is saying like, I'm there to help you. I'm going to fix you. I'm going to do this.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the New Earth. Really excited to share with you something a little bit different. As you can see, there's not just two of us, there is a third person here. Looking forward to sharing about our trips recently, and Dilara here. How do we introduce you to the world?
It's a very tricky question. Dilara, I consider myself as a guide, as a channeler. I don't like when people call me as a teacher, because I'm not here to teach. I just share my experience and my sensitivity, and so I'm a guide.
Yeah, we had such an honor and privilege of knowing Dilara now for 2 years at least, and since then we have embarked on all kinds of journeys, but the latest one definitely takes the cake. We have gone on a journey to the Egypt from the 22nd of 22nd until 29th. For 1 week we were there. We did the most amazing work, the most amazing light work of bringing the new earth to reality, of birth in the new earth, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this period of this year, February, was very significant. That's why in Egypt, so many light workers flew in. And there was Matthias De Stefano. It was 2,000 plus people coming only for him. It was all light workers coming, particularly in this day, to Egypt, because it was very important day, and it was 22nd of February 2022 is actually the big portal opening, and it's a very important portal of Aquarius age. So basically we step in, we open it, so we brought that new earth.
So when you talk about light workers, for anybody out there who probably feels a bit different, like I'm not resonating with this old world or the world I'm in, and maybe they feel like there's a calling, maybe they can relate to it.
Yeah, light workers are definitely people who feel the call, who wants to bring a new consciousness into this world and break all the stereotypes of the old worlds, break through all limiting beliefs, and be there and serve.
That's service.
Humanity.
I think that's service to humanity. Yeah, and we had the light work in the way of the light language supporting us throughout the whole trip. And light language is its own beautiful manifestation of the light work. And this is what Dilara, gracefully shares with us every time.
And brave enough to step into something so foreign.
Yeah.
But to then create a space where something is so alien, extraterrestrial, that you have a community that would support even that, and that you're growing this community.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's amazing when the people feel the call, and because light language is kind of weird sounds, creepy ones, but it's the language of the soul, and everyone, even if they don't understand with their mind, they feel it. Most of the people, they say like, I felt like I heard my mother, I was at home. This is how it feels, because light language is the language of the soul that your mind doesn't understand, but your soul does. It brings that. So that light codes go directly to your heart, to your soul. So that's why it accelerates your growth.
That's what we're about.
Light.
We look for anything we can to really speed up our growth, because seeing the new earth and the responsibility it feels.
Yeah, but let's share with the viewers how we birthed the new earth. That was quite a process, right?
We were very privileged to have this opportunity be with our private group in a main chamber and the Great Pyramids, and to see what's gonna happen. Because I never been in Egypt before; it was my first time, and I was very honest with my group. I said, "Look, I don't know what to expect. I never been there." And even the guides were telling, don't read anything about ancient Egypt. Don't look at any documentaries. Don't pollute your mind, your channel. So, because the information is going to be completely different. And now I understand why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we were in this chamber of Great Pyramids, only us, little group. And the energies were incredible. And in the same time, by the side on the Sphinx, the Matthias de Stefano with 2,000 and plus people were activating another part. So we felt like, even though we didn't know each other, but everything was synchronized, orchestrated divinely. At that moment, I think we unlocked something really big. So from what channeled message in that Great Pyramid was that Great Pyramid is never been built by human beings. It came from the stars, and actually it's a spaceship. It's the library on the planet Earth that has all the knowledge. So the planet Earth is a life library. The library not on the books, but it's in the field. So what we were doing that time is decoding that all information that been printed, because before humanity was not ready to decode that knowledge. Otherwise it would be in the wrong hands. And now is the time when the humanity is expanding their consciousness, expanding their heart, and now they can be able to use that knowledge. And what's happening with Alex and Julia now, I'm sure you will be birthing a lot of knowledge that's been hidden. Yeah, it's very interesting how it's like poop, poop, poop,
we're not the same. We're not the same after this trip, because it feels like a completely new reality has opened up for us. A new reality about who we truly are. It's like homecoming. It's like realizing that what you're part of, what you're here to do, right?
Exactly.
We're still unpacking, and it's still integrating. It's like it's seeping its way through, and what's coming out is a different energy. I feel even doing the videos today is just so different than what it was before.
Absolutely different.
Even more certainty, like, you know, even the confirmation of those pyramids and something outworldly, and so many mysteries. It's like, you know what? We're here, we really birthed something new here, and really got this sort of confirmation.
Yeah, but not only did we go to the Great Pyramid, we also went on the Nile, and we took this pilgrimage, the soul pilgrimage, during the most difficult times of the war, you know, bursting out in our reality. It was at the same time the most peaceful, the most beautiful pilgrimage of light workers, you know, combining together and going to all the special places to get the wisdom, so we can all, you know, bring it together and give it to humanity.
Exactly. I think it's impossible to, you know, in one video to describe all what we went through. Yeah. But I think from day one, first, when we were activating that life library, and the channeled message was that we are the key holders of that light library. Is the planet Earth initially, million years ago, was the purpose was as a life library, intergalactic life library. So if you want to learn about galaxy and universe, you have to come to the planet Earth. And the first human beings who were there here, our divine ancestors, they were the key holders of that information. So now the planet is coming back to the initial purpose, and we are also coming back to our initial purpose as the key holders of that wisdom.
So does that mean that the civilizations that are worshipped in ancient Egypt are coming back to Earth?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel when you say it, I really connect to it. I feel tears in my eyes. It's the love of what we went through, and what they really embodied. And they were so advanced. Yeah. You know, we think, you know, we're so advanced, but where they were advanced, I really feel humanity needs that. Yeah. You know, it needs that calling. And why we were there at that time, as you said, Russia going into war, it was
that was a perfect confirmation, though, that Russia was going into war, because it means that the process of letting go of the past is initiated.
Yeah. To be able to build a new Earth, you have to destroy the old. So that's why all the chaos recently, starting like from 3 years from now, it was to destroy, to chaos. So it's like moving from one house to another. So from Piscean era, we moved to Aquarius era. So it's the same when we're moving houses. It's always chaos, right? With these boxes and stuff. So it's the same what's happening now with our world. We're moving houses, we're bringing to the new world. And this is how the new earth was.
And this is why it's so important that people right now, seekers, look towards channels like this or their own temple because of the chaos that's happening around them. These pyramids have stood time, thousands of years in a strong temple. That's why we need to see that within ourselves to handle this change, moving of house right now.
Yeah, and this pilgrimage, it was actually symbolizing for us establishing those sacred temples within ourselves. If you remember, you were saying, the pyramid is now within you. You are pyramid. Now you have to, stand strong like the pyramid does, So, and like that, it was with all the sacred places we've been to. I mean, we've been to Isis, that was just out of this world beautiful on the island. That was also touching on the divine creation of the from the feminine perspective. Unbelievably, you can't, like you said, you can't actually talk about these experiences in human terms. You can only feel them.
Exactly. And in this trip, I think each one of us were connecting to that divine feminine, and we're not talking about gender. Divine feminine is everyone, and it was so beautiful. Divine feminine is about, again, cultivating that compassion, love, peace, setting the peace in the world. And we perfectly, I think, done that. And our men in this group was amazing. They were holding space for all women, because we've been releasing all this pain of 1,000 years when the women were humiliated and, all the story. Yes, now we were releasing all this thing, and also men were releasing a fear of the power of divine feminine. And it was amazing how it was a very difficult task, but you guys dealt it with such a ease and grace. It was so beautiful to witness that. And I feel like now everything going to be rewritten. All the stories going to be rewritten. So from the patriarchy, we again moving to matriarchy, because patriarchy have taught us and showed us, that led us to nowhere. It shed so many innocent bloods. It was wars, ego, the competition between conditioning. You're cool if you have this and that. Now we are destroying all this, and now we're bringing the compassion, love, and peace. We're again coming back to Divine Mother, where we practice that forgiveness. When we give life, we burst, we are creative beings, no? So we're coming back to that.
That is just so beautiful.
It's so needed and so beautiful to see this new creation, the new earth, coming from a space of love.
Yeah. Well, what does it mean for people, though? What does it mean for them to go through this experience now? Because it's scary now. This is what's been happening for thousands of years, and now there's something completely new. Does that mean that the feminine power will overpower the masculine?
It's again coming back to the balance, because divine feminine never. The mother never competes. She treats everything like it's kids, no? The child, no judgment, being there to hold the space. And I think we have felt that. I felt like Divine Mother was with us in this whole trip. And that's why it created a safe environment for everyone to show their vulnerability and not feel ashamed of it. That's why we went very deep in this process.
And what about SIGNUP? Our experience there, that was out of this world. We were so privileged to go into places that were completely for us, and one of them was the temple of Sekhmet, and she is the goddess of fear. She's the god of victory. She's the goddess of, she would instill such a fear into you that you wouldn't dare to mess with her. And this is why this is the only statue that is still standing after thousands, like 6,000 years. Nobody knows what she's made out of, and people who go there and have a chance to be with her one-on-one, just 2 minutes with her, they're crying out in tears. They can't withstand all the fear that she brings up. And she was needed, right? When she was invited by the god, was it Osiris that invited her? She had the divine mission. She had the mission of clearing the population of all of its fears and all of this victimhood and everything. And she almost killed most of the population, right?
She went on the killing
She had a lot of material to work with, right?
Yeah, she's all about setting your boundaries and owning your power. Be truthful to yourself and towards others. She doesn't tolerate anything else.
Is this the one where they got her drunk on red wine?
Yes, they gave her like poison and they colored it, and she drank it thinking it's blood, right? Because she was drinking blood. But the divinity of her embodiment, because that's what I feel we brought with us from there, right? Because we stayed there for 40 minutes, like people there for 2 minutes and they cried. Yeah. We stayed there for 40 minutes. I didn't have the most easiest of the rides because I was standing right next to her, and it felt like she was clearing me from inside out. And you know, when you embark onto the new world, after you face your fears, and we want to face those fears, even staying there for the night if we get the chance, right? Because who knows what's on the other side? Because on the other side of fear is freedom, is everything, right? And it's amazing how that actually showed up in our dynamic and in ourselves, because we felt like, you know, she was with us. We were like, rah, you know, this lioness. It's just like protecting her space. This is how I feel now, and I'm so grateful for that, because women haven't been aligning with that true lioness within themselves for a really long time. They didn't think they were capable, right?
Exactly.
And you know, it's funny because when I was in that room, it felt like kind love. It was that mother nurturing, which I think for the masculine men, we don't need to go rah and use that, you know, for ourselves, because I think we've been doing too much of that. And it's beautiful to see
we take that on now.
feminine to step up, and you know, as you said, and thank you for honouring us being there. You know, came with our challenges, that, you know, holding the space and being secure enough to see the feminine rise up. And not be in competition with it, and actually just honouring it.
It was a beautiful group where we were like reflecting on each other, and I think the thing that nobody was feeling superior or, you know, we all felt one, and we all felt equally important, and we've been reflecting on each other. Thank you, Alex. You really helped me to clear some childhood trauma thing, because we were reflecting on each other, and it was very beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
It was for all of us. It was for all of us. So when one person goes through it, they relieve that for everybody else.
That's the new community. That's the I think new human beings now, when there is no competition. Yeah. No teachers, no gurus. We're awakening, activating that inner master, and sharing that.
Well, when you realize you're in a community that no one's better than the other person, we had this beautiful thing came up, Dilara, with you and Liberty, of how to greet one another. And we realized that this is a way how to greet each other.
That's the new Earth greeting.
And it was, I am that I am. And as soon as I am that I am. And as soon as you greet somebody with that way, you realize that whatever thing that you may be jealous of, or whatever is in them, or you didn't like about them, you realize, that is me. It's a mirror of me. So where is that competition? It's like it dissolves.
What a blessing. That's what love is about, is recognizing yourself in another. Exactly. That's what true love is.
So this is that no place for ego in this place, because we equally, because I see me in you.
As you see.
You see, we are just reflections. So this is the new conscious of new humanity, of the new earth.
Yeah. And it's those little things that we tweak just to keep us in that environment, in that space, on that.
But we did have a bit of challenges in the egos within the group too. One or two people struggled with the energies.
But it was also a medicine, because we've seen an ego dying in our eyes, and we've learned, and as a face of love, because love is not always, I'm here for you, my darling, what you need, you know. Love is also sometimes be a strict mother, and just hold the space with love, so that person can go through their process. Because if we would step in there and say, and give so much attention, we would feed the ego and drama, and she wouldn't ever heal from it.
It's true.
So what we did was like, we're here for you, but we don't feed any drama and ego. We are here for you.
That's a loving act,
Knowing when to come in, because some people want to feel like, they're crying, I need to come in. Well, there's a difference when they really need it, or if you start cuddling them in that place, and all they do is seek connection via being a victim.
Well, nobody needs to nurture the pyramid, right? Nobody needs to hug the
Yeah,
pyramid.
you just stand there.
You just
But
the
we can
pyramid.
have
Have your
pyramid.
base and stuff.
Yeah. You see, that's the analogy. So it's like, it's the old way of, we need to like make them feel better, soothe it, but then at the same time, it's just an unbalanced exchange of energy, because it's more of a pouring out of energy to feed something else.
Exactly.
That's also makes you more aware, because ego has so many different faces. So the one is a rough, you see, ooh, that guy has like super ego, no? And there is a thinner and thinner, more refined and refined. And one of the faces of ego is saying like, I'm there to help you. I'm going to fix you. I'm going to do this. But no, who said that that person needs fixing? It's perfect. He is perfect the way he is, and who are you to fix the other person?
That's a very very good lesson.
Exactly.
I think that's what's actually quite prominent amongst the spiritual community.
And maybe that person came onto this, incarnated on this earth to learn that, and we're here. We want to save and take that experience from that person.
That's really powerful wisdom over there.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing.
It's very important to hold the space and let that person to go through what you can do. Like, I believe you can go through it.
Yes.
I'm here to support the.
That's the ultimate
space.
respect.
Exactly. And that's
When
what
you
we have
respect,
done.
Otherwise,
exactly.
you're disempowering them. If you jump in, you break their
Exactly.
process, and they never feel they can find the resolve themselves, because they had that when they were kids. Somebody always jumped in. They needed that, but they never had the chance. And that's when you can come up as a loving parent and go, you got this, I'm over here. And watching you in their ceremony, people, wanting to get involved, you're like, do not touch. And I'm like, and I know I'm right there. When I was coaching, when you were seminars, people are crying, just don't go there. All right, just let them deal with it.
Exactly.
I'm still standing.
What a beautiful experience we've lived. There's no words to describe the gratitude for this experience. And may this be only the beginning for the rest of our experience here on Earth, of being this, of nurturing this space.
I believe like the more you integrate whatever you have received and learned in this trip, it's going to show you more, open you more. And
So let this be the one of many videos that we will do together, that we will share our experience, that we will keep on unpacking.
And bringing on more guests, and we'd love to again hear.
Bring our community
What
here and
questions
share
come out
their
of this?
experience.
Exactly, because what was in this group, like we called it Grade 14, because each one of us took some part of collective consciousness that need to be refined, like each one of us was going through different, it took different parts of that experience, and we were going through it, and together I think we were working on collective consciousness. It was amazing.
Because we're owning all the broken fragments of each other. And we noticed it in ourselves, and we didn't complain. We took responsibility for it.
We are the puzzles of one truth.
That's true, yes. Oh, we have so much wisdom to share.
Yeah, we channeled so many interesting things.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're the first guest on the New Earth.
Yes, you are.
It just happened.
She is New Earth. She's
here.
part of New Earth, yes. Guys, thank you so much for sharing the space with us. This was a very intimate moment of, of our experiences, and may this be one of many that we will share with you from this trip.
Absolutely.
Right?
We'd love to share, and we'd love to hear from you. Please do share us questions and any answers you want or need. We'll do our very best to give you the space and time. So thank you very much.
Thank you.